What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nightreign walkthrough. So this time, as you can see, we're going to be using Iron Eye as our class. And also, I will point out we have Shifting Earth, the crater underway, which was triggered after we beat the first boss. The initial triggering of Shifting Earth is guaranteed after you beat the first boss. And then there's going to be another one that activates after the third, fifth, and seventh boss. So I will say, you do have a limited number of tries to get this objective done. And after that, it's going to be left up to RNG. So I suggest creating a backup save at this point. So that way, if you fail the objective and the Shifting Earth goes away, you're not going to be reliant on RNG to do it. Each of these Shifting Earth objectives pops a trophy, and then there's a separate trophy if you get all 4 of them. So make sure that you get them if you're going for all trophies and achievements. Let's see. This particular one, I'll point out, gives you a guaranteed legendary weapon. So you can take any weapon that you have in your possession and you can upgrade it to legendary if you get to the end of the Shifting Earth objective. Very useful if you do it. So I highly recommend it. We're going to go to the shop now. There are some new relics for sale since we beat the first boss. And some of these can be quite useful. So check them out at your leisure. Also, I want to point out I don't have any merc to buy a new chalice or goblet or whatever these are called, but there is a trophy for purchasing all of them. We don't have access to purchase all of them yet. Some more of them are going to be are going to become available later on in the game. But if you want to get that trophy, make sure you're picking these up along the way. There is a trophy for purchasing all of them. Just wanted to point that out. And so before we head in, I'm going to equip the relics I'm going to be using. So as I said, I'm going to be limiting myself to character specific and guaranteed relics. So these ones that you get from killing the Night Lords are guaranteed, and they're going to be the same for everybody. So I'm definitely going to put this on: the stamina recovery with each successful attack, and then starting armament deals fire damage. Very important because this boss that we're about to fight is weak to fire. And I'm also going to equip the old pocket watch for a little bit of extra dex on this character. This is a guaranteed relic that we got from beating the first Night Lord, and it's what we used to recruit the Duchess in the previous episode. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to use in this yellow slot, but it's all good. So let us proceed. So I'm actually going to be doing the Sentient Pest next. I'm going to be jumping over Gaping Jaw for now because you see he's weak to poison. Sentient Pest is weak to fire. We have that guaranteed relic that gives us a fire weapon at the start. So I'm going to be fighting Sentient Pest. And I mentioned earlier that we can upgrade a weapon to legendary. So the weapon I'm going to be upgrading to legendary is going to be my fire bow that we start with, unless I find something really, really, really good, but I doubt it. And that way we'll have that legendary fire weapon going into the boss fight. So these bosses are kind of like Mega Man. Each one of them is going to give you a relic at the end that has very good abilities. And some of them are going to be useful against other bosses. So you can really choose which order you do them in. You can do them in any order. This is the order that I suggest. So that way, when you kill the Sentient Pest, he gives you a relic that has that makes your starting armament do poison damage, which then is going to be useful against Gaping Jaw. So that is why I'm doing it in this particular order. Hopefully that makes sense. And so without further ado, let us get started. So as I said, my run philosophy is going to be very similar as we do these expeditions. I'm really going to be targeting the same objectives. Now, the big difference with this one's going to be the Shifting Earth. Shifting Earth, I'm going to target for day 2. That's going to be very important. And because the enemies in that crater are going to be relatively powerful, and then you have to kill a magma worm at the bottom to get access to the legendary upgrade. So I'm going to be targeting day 2 for this one, for this Shifting Earth. And that's going to go for all Shifting Earths. I'm targeting day 2. Day 1's going to be largely the same. Get that first level right away. Take out some early camps, etc. All right, let's see what we got here. I'll probably start with this cathedral. If I get an Everjail key, I might go to that Everjail, try to hit the church before the circle closes in. Bleed camps could be good, because if you get a bleed weapon, that's very good. Now, Iron Eye, I'm pretty much going to be using a bow the entire time. You can use melee weapons with Iron Eye. He's got decent dex, but he's got very low HP. So if you're using melee weapons with Iron Eye, be careful because you can't take very many hits. So you see I'm using my mark ability here. That's doing extra damage. I'm going to check out what's inside of these treasure chests, see if there's anything good for me. Lightning attack power, don't care. Lightning attack power, don't care. Sorceries, don't care. Gold Foulfoot, that's good. Fire Grease could be good. And greases you can put on any weapon, even if they have a base affinity. So I think the Fire Grease might actually do damage, do extra damage, even though I already have a fire weapon. Improve critical hits, also very good. Let's see what else we got in here. We got a Scarab. See if we get a good talisman. And so anybody can use bows, and bows have infinite ammo for every class, but Iron Eye shoots much more faster than any other class will with bows. Flask Restoration, that's pretty good actually, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. Let's see here. I need a wall to climb up. I can just use a Spirit Spring to hop over, and that's good because it's next to the Grace. So I'm gonna get my level 2 and then hop over with the Spirit Spring to get up to this cathedral, and most likely it's going to be a giant golem, but we'll see. Yep, giant golem. Here we go. So I'm going to start out with a mark, and then that'll be allow me to do some extra damage. Just going to wail on him here. And so with Iron Eye, you do have to watch your stamina, because stamina is what allows you to fire your bow. And as I said, you can use your mark evasively, as I tried to do there, but failed, but that's okay. He still turned around and hit me, but that's not a problem. We'll grab our runes and finish the job. Unfortunately, we did lose that level, but we'll be fine as long as we get our runes back here. And that goes to show you got to be careful with Iron Eye. His HP is low, but being able to do ranged attacks is actually quite nice. A lot of enemies are easier to kill with the range attacks. And once we get access to his ultimate, we're going to be doing that right away. Here we go. You get iframes during this animation, as you do with Wilder. You see, that was pretty legit. And we busted the mark with that, which did extra damage. And then we got the kill. Improved attack power at full HP, improved item discovery. I'll go for that. And let's check to see if we get a stone sword key. Come on. Nope, no stone sword key. That's sad. Okay, so we're going to skip this Everjail, but I'm still going to go for this church. And this Everjail, actually, I don't like doing this one in the forest because there's a field boss right next to it. And most of the time, the field boss actually aggroes while you're trying to do the Everjail. But I might try to get this field boss. I'm Iron Eye, so I might be able to pull this off. And I've got a fire bow, and this thing's weak to fire, but he just one-shot me, so maybe not. Maybe a bad idea to try to go for this thing as early as I am. Yeah, and I'm not doing very much damage, so it is best to lick my wounds and bail. And is he gonna let me get my runes back? Rip! That was close. Rip! That was close. All right. We're getting out of here because, yeah, I'm not doing enough damage for this to be effective. And the circle's gonna be closing in really soon here. And I'd probably be fighting this guy until the circle closes in and may not even win. So if I was doing more damage, perhaps it would be worth it. But right now, just, yeah. You have to do like a real-time cost-benefit analysis as you're playing this game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ballast because why not? Take the Silver Pickled because why not? And you notice I'm using these items before I'm even picking them up. So if you use triangle and up, you're going to pick them up right away. All right, next thing I'm going to go for, I could do this Blood Camp. Blood Camps can be dangerous because a lot of the enemies here do bleed damage, and if you get blood, then that's just a lot of damage right away that you're taking. So let's see, it's probably gonna be a Sanguine Noble boss. I wish I had my ult because I could just blow these guys away all at once and get a ton of runes. So I'm actually just gonna charge up my ult real quick. This might take too long, but I'm committed to it. Because the ult for this guy, for Iron Eye, as I've said before, does a huge AoE, and anyone caught in the AoE, it does the same amount of damage to. So here we go, got the ult, and I should, look at that. Well, it went just as I planned it, but then there's the blood cloud, which wasn't just as I planned. So I got to find where the boss is, so I can fight the boss, so I don't waste a bunch of time. He's probably gonna be up here. Bleed dogs can be a problem, so. I got a blood loss there. That's the problem with these blood camps, is they can be dangerous. So Sanguine Noble's probably going to pop up over here. Yep, there he is. And these guys are all trying to kill me. So I'm going to mark, do some extra damage here. And he does have projectiles, unfortunately. Man, that's like my third death already. So my goal with this run is to show you that you don't have to have a perfect run to be effective. You don't have to be a rock star at this game to be reasonably successful. Because I made a lot of mistakes so far, and we can still pull this thing out. So this guy's got my runes. Maybe I should have saved my ult for this guy. About to get another one. This dog being as annoying as humanly possible. Or I should say maybe as doggedly possible. Alright, so I'm going to ult right here. Much like last time, take all these guys out at once. Super useful, except for the dog that's right next to me. But we'll get the W and be just fine. Take this guy out. There we go. And what have we here? Improved jump attacks? No. Successful guarding up poison? No. Rivers of blood, but, you know, I'll take the damage negation. If I was playing more of a dex class, you know, that Rivers of Blood would be really good, but I'm not going to be doing melee. As Iron Eye, I'm 100% of the time using bows, basically. And I did not take my level, but that's fine. This next camp should be pretty easy. Probably a fire monk. And we'll try for another stone sword key while we're at it. Yeah, the fire monk bosses are really easy. So this type of fire camp, you're going to have a treasure chest behind the altar. Possible stone sword key. And we did get a stone sword key. And the boss is going to be in the basement. It's going to be a fire monk. Even though our bow is fire, we'll still be doing plenty good damage. I'm going to mark them. And you want to keep a decent distance when you're Iron Eye to maintain that spacing, to make sure that you don't get hit by stuff, by melee attacks especially. And then you can use your mark evasively to get good position. But you don't want to be too far away. Oh, projectile damage drop off reduced. That is huge for Iron Eye. And that goes into my next point that I was going to make, is that if you're Iron Eye, you want to be too far away because then your damage drop off is huge if you're too far away. But then I just got that damage drop off reduced. That is huge for Iron Eye. That is one of his best passives that you can possibly get. So I'm gonna hit up the, I don't know, the circle's gonna be closing in really soon, so I don't want to be doing that Ever Jail and then run out of time. So I'm going to prioritize this church next. Get another flask, why not? So for Sentient Pest, Night 1 boss, you can either get Centipede Demon, Tibia Mariner, Battlefield Commander, Smelter Demon, or Ulcerated Tree Spirit. You're most likely going to see one of those bosses on Night 1 for Sentient Pest. I've got 2 Foulfoots that I should definitely... I'll make that 3, I guess. Well, now I gotta throw some away. I'm throwing away these fire greases. Let's see. Guess we could do Cave next. I don't need Cave because I'm getting a legendary from... I could try to start clearing out the castle. I don't need Cave because I am getting a guaranteed legendary from the Crater event, which we're going to start first thing on day 2, which means I actually need to hit up a merchant. I wasn't thinking. Oh, there's merchants at the castle. I need a merchant because I want to get my Winding Grace, and they're is not a township on this map. So I can't buy 2 guaranteed Winding Graces. Actually, I cannot quite buy the pouch. I'm gonna buy a pouch and a Winding Grace. Circle closing in. Come on, get a guy. Can I kill one thing over here? I should be able to. What do we got? Crucible Knights. Oh, nice. If I wasn't doing the crater, I would absolutely be doing this castle. I need to just get one of these. I get to the other side of him so he doesn't kill me. I'm gonna do this just for make it quicker. Come on, buddy. Uses his shield too much. Come on. I don't have all day. There we go. All right, go buy my Winding Grace in my pouch. And that gives me an extra level because Crucible Knights are fantastic for runes. That's why I like Crucible Knight Castle better than any other version of the castle. You know, I should have used one of my foul foots for that, but I wasn't thinking. Oh well, it's all good. All right, so my tree is over there. I'm just gonna kill some low level stuff as we progress. I can level up one more time. Maybe I should be thinking about getting to that side of grace. All right, so we got some dudes over here that I can take out real quick. You see how much I'm using this mark skill? It is so important to be using if you're Iron Eye. Oh, geez. Surprise. I applaud the effort. All right, so I'm going to hit up this grace to level up. And I'm in no hurry to get to the circle. As long as you're ahead of the rain, that's all you need. Don't waste the time. Where's the grace? Isn't there a grace? There it is. Don't waste the time you have. Getting to the boss. Use it to kill enemies if you can. Because again, it all adds up and you can maybe get an extra level, at least maybe some items at the shop if you want. So yeah, use this time wisely. Kill enemies as you go. And I'm hoping for not Tibia Mariner. Tibia Mariner is probably the most annoying boss, especially if you're Iron Eye. But knowing my luck, I'm probably going to get Tibia Manor. I like fighting Smelter Demon a lot. And, oh, nice. We're getting Centipede Demon. Now, the problem with Centipede Demon is you have to fight these hands to start. I don't like the hands, but, you know. As Iron Eye, the hands aren't so bad. Especially since they're weak to fire. You see that fire stuns him. Alright, Centipede Demon. Dark Souls 1 boss. Which is why I said at the beginning you might get more enjoyment out of this game if you beat the Dark Souls trilogy. There are some Dark Souls bosses thrown into this game, which I think is very cool. I'm a fan of it. Alright, gonna start out with an ult. Centipede Demon's very easy as Iron Eye. I'm glad I got to showcase the Dark Souls boss in this video. So I need to be marking him. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And the mark itself, not only can you use it evasively, it also does damage. And it makes them susceptible to more damage. So it is very useful to be using. So as soon as I get an access to a new mark, I'm probably going to be re-upping the mark on the enemy. There we go, just blew it up. Got another mark here, so let's use it. Did I miss? I missed. Oh, well, that's fine. Ooh, got a stun. Let's get around, get the crit. His detached appendage is trying to hurt me here. That's fine. Let's do a mark. I missed again! Oh, well. It's all good. Need to remember to pop a foul foot. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Well, I probably should do a little bit more damage first to make sure that I, all right, let's hit him this time with the mark. There we go, got him. Make sure that I kill him with the buff active. Got another ult, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop. Do an ultimate attack here. Did a lot of damage. We're almost done here. Oh, I got another crit. But we don't need it. We're done here. Very nice. Poison and rot trigger, continuous HP recovery, enemy damage after crit. That's good. Violent deluge. I like that one a lot, so I'm going to go for that. And I should get a Sight of Grace. Level up to 8. So now, as I said, we are going straight to the crater. So I'm going to mark this. I typically start at the southern Spirit Spring jump here, the one that's just south of the crater. That's always pretty much going to be there. The crater layout will be the same every time. So you don't really have to worry about RNG. I see a scarab straight ahead. Hopefully get a good talisman here. Crits restore FP, not so great for Iron Eye. So this right here in the crater is going to be a Black Blade. This over here is going to be a Falling Star Beast. Those are two of the hardest field bosses to beat. So I'm not going to prioritize them right away. I'm actually going to save them for later. If you drop right by the Spirit Spring, you're going to see there's the, well, they just took me out. Well, thanks for that, guys. There's the Black Blade over there. I was trying to point that out as I was getting absolutely destroyed. But if I have time to fight him at the end, I'm going to fight him at the end when I'm a little bit stronger. Definitely not going to fight him at level now 7. And one of these, oh, nope, my runes are up here safely. So what you want to do is you want to see that the tree over here, the glowing spirit tree. This is what you want to drop towards. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of the crater. So drop to this tree. And then you want to go up this pillar. You don't need to kill all these low-level enemies, but there is a mini boss right next to him. So over here, I meant this one. This one has a mini boss. There we go. So yeah, when you get to the tree, you want to go down the pillar, not up the pillar. My bad. So yeah, these ones around the mini boss you definitely want to take out so you're not fighting them while you're fighting the mini boss. Now we'll take on the mini boss. Does have projectiles. Mark it. Again, the mark is very good at being used as an evasive maneuver. I wish I picked up another bow along the way, but I did not. Because these guys are strong to fire, but we'll be okay. I'm gonna use ults as I get them. And charging the ult versus not charging it for Iron Eye does not give you any difference in iframes or any difference in damage, but it does extend the duration that you have iframes if you charge the ult. All right, this is gonna give us a power up. Add fired weapon, don't care. We'll do maximum FP, whatever. We get a grace down here that we can level up. All right, we got our previous level back, and this will give you a little buff, your attack power. We got another one over here to take out. As long as you go to the crater at the very beginning of day 2, you're gonna have enough time. This one's got a whip. A little bit of extra range this one has over the previous one that we fought. All right, you guys are going to be a problem. So as soon as we get another ult charged up, we're going to use it. Yeah, this one's got a lot of range. Need to heal up. That noise there was the crater exploding, but don't worry, it doesn't hurt you, so it'll be fine. Just got this. There we go. You guys are being annoying. I'm taking you out. Got our alt charge back, which we're going to be using. This next one you have to kill to proceed. Oh, very nice. I got another bow. Oh, okay. And this one is improved guard breaking. Awesome. So I'm going to be using this until I can upgrade my other one to fire. So for this, you want to go straight across. Oh, that's clutch. And this one is a blue one instead of a base one, so it's going to do a little bit more damage, and plus it doesn't have the added fire, so even better. So we're gonna run straight ahead. And when you have a shifting earth, I will point out, I'm going to start with my alt here. There's 3 of them they have to kill. When you have a shifting earth, the circle is always going to close around the shifting earth. So you don't have to worry about being outside the circle for these. All right, got the first one down, and these 3 are all tied to the same health bar, and then these other ones are coming into play. That's wonderful. That's just what I need right now. So the rain that's coming down, that's from one of my passives. It triggers when I'm walking. I take out this other little one first. Okay, well, be like that. That's fine. Got a mark, so I'll be doing extra damage. Take him out. And all we got left is the big prelate. And I'm going to pop a gold foulfoot here. Very nice. Getting that other bow was clutch. So if you get another bow on your run, I'd highly suggest using it. I got another one. Let's see, improved holy attack power, flask restoration. So once you beat this boss, you can go through this fog gate, and there are going to be flame chariots here. I'd recommend just running past them. And I know they give you runes, but generally it's not going to be worth the time that it takes. You can probably get a couple levels while we're at it too. So when we get to the bottom of the crater, we're going to be fighting a magma worm. Another good reason why it's good to have a non-fire based damage bow. But you'll be fine either way as long as you're making good pace. I'm going to use an exalted flesh on that boss as well. And let's see, there should be another site of grace around here. Got to drop down a little bit further. Okay, here's a site of grace. I'm going to ignore the hands, and there's a scarab over there. I hear the chime. Thanks for that. We're going to level up here. We're going to run past the hands. Out to 10. Very good. So when we upgrade our bow, we want to make sure that we're upgrading the fire bow that we want to use against the boss, not the one we're using now. I mean, it's not the end of the world if we do, but we'll be better off if we have that fire bow for the boss. So now we're going to be fighting a magma worm. This will be good fun. We go in and mark them. Use our ult. Pretty much every time that mark regens, I'm going to be using another mark because I want that mark to stay until it breaks. There it goes. It just broke. Did a lot of damage right there. Make sure you keep your distance. You don't want to be in the magma. Mark him again. Get behind his head so he can't blast me. Also be away so he can't tail whip me. Oh, well, or not. Rip. Mark him again. There we go. Very nice. Get that crit. Oh, no, no. I didn't get the crit. I have that buff that gives me extra attack power when I get a crit, so I kind of wasted it there, but it's all good. We doing just fine. Use my mark to dodge. And keep at it. So again, we get a guaranteed legendary weapon, and we're going to get a trophy for this. But very important to do the crater shifting event. Shifting earth event if you have it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Magma worm. Let's see, improved fire damage negation. Not going to help us so much. Improved critical hits could help us. Yeah, we'll go with this. And here's where we get our legendary. So we're going to upgrade this ironized bow with fire damage to legendary. So we get a trophy for legendary armament. Very good. We also get our trophy for doing the shifting earth. So the way out of here is you want to activate this spirit tree. I haven't been using them much, the spectral hawks, but you can, they are all over the place. So you see these spots where the little trees are. That will show you the route that the bird will take if you ride the tree. I haven't been using them much, but I do use them from time to time. And this is by far the best way to get out of this crater. So the Night 2 boss is going to spawn right there, but we got some time. So we're going to take some stuff out first. Over here, we have a demi-human queen that we're going to take out. And we'll be using our legendary bow here. We now have. I'm going to get a bunch of these on me and then use my, my ult. Look at that. So good. We're doing crazy damage. So you can go up this spirit spring. There's going to be a red wolf that you can fight. But we're going to go across this way. Let's see. All resistance is up. That's going to be good because the boss we're about to fight does poison damage. To go this way, it's going to take us to that church that I mentioned earlier. Now you can climb up to the church before you go into the crater, but it's maybe more effective to do it this way. And then we can drop down and try fighting that Black Blade Kindred as well. I don't do well against Black Blade Kindreds. This might be a bad idea, but... Alright, so we got our flask. Our third one, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna try my luck with this Black Blade. I probably shouldn't, but you know... Whatever. Mark him. They can be so dangerous. Watch out for that. Gotta dodge there. Come back over here, dude. Or just let me shoot you from afar. I'm fine with that too. Took a hit there. Need to heal really badly. Dadgummit. Alright, depending on how the circle's closing in, I may or may not have time to finish this guy up. We'll see. Need to get my runes back. Yeah, we should have time. We should have time. I should have healed. I was being kind of reckless there. So you saw how many deaths I've taken so far in this run. And this run is not completely cooked. Like, you can have a pretty bad run and still salvage it. Alright, buddy. I'm not done with you. But now he's got his axe out, which he has more range with. Mark on. I'm just gonna ult him. Why not? There we go. Got him. And if I have time, I might try to take out Red Wolf. Less likely to be targeted, improve spellcasting speed. None of those are really good. But I'm up to 13 now. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go back. There's the Falling Star Beast down there. I'm not gonna have enough time to fight him, so not gonna worry about it. So the Night 2 bosses, you could get a Nox Dragonkin, you can get Draconic Tree Sentinel, which is probably my least favorite, or you can get a Great Worm, which we just fought a Great Worm, but yeah, I hope it's not Draconic Tree Sentinel. I hate Draconic. Maybe we can get this Red Wolf up here. Probably not. Yeah, it's not going to go well. You try to get him. Come on, buddy. Come over here. That's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. My runes are going to be up there. It's fine. We can grab them and come back down. There's that Tide of Grace right there. We'll be good. Tank the storm for just a little bit. Oh, the wolf is right there. And this dog has really... Okay, heal, heal, heal. Drop down. Hit the Grace. That was a little sketchy, but it's okay. We're fine. Everything's fine. Oh, he's trying to attack me with his glint blades from Are we going to get this fire for the buff? Let's see what boss we have. Okay, we got Nox Dragonkin, which is actually really easy, as Iron Eye especially. All right. But the Night Lord that we have is Sentient Pest, and I've had a harder time with Sentient Pest than any other Night Lord in this game, so we'll see how this goes. All right, you want to make sure you're hitting behind them if you don't have a mark, because if you're in front of them, they just block with their shield. Got an ult, so I'm going to start the fight with the boss with an ult. See if it recharges partway through the fight. I can use it a second time, perhaps. They should be spawning in. Ooh, dodge that. There we go. All right, so I'm starting with the mark and then ult him. Mark him. And then we're going to do our ultimate. We're doing plenty good damage, and being able to fight him as a ranged character is actually really useful. Because most of his attacks, he's got a lot of close-up melee attacks. This is an AoE, watch out for that. And now he's going to be able to hit the ground and cause a big AoE on the ground, which means you want to stand in a spot that doesn't have the lightning, and you'll be safe. Well, it sometimes does it over and over again, and I got hit that time. Let's see. Heal up real quick. And this I'm going to mark through. Even though the mark missed. Oh well, I still dodged it. Need to remember to use my gold pickled falcon here. If you have the relic that gives Iron Eye 2 times the mark usages, you can see why that is such a useful skill against a boss especially. All right, replenish sacred flasks. We got the flask upgrade trophy, which you get that if you get up to 7 flasks during a run. So we got 3 churches plus the night boss. That's why we got that that trophy there. Okay, improved poise, I guess. And I'm gonna show you guys something. Because out here, I mentioned you can tank the storm for a bit. Now here there's some enemies. I'm not gonna abuse it because I don't want that to be an integral part of this walkthrough in case they patch it out later. And I want this walkthrough to be evergreen. I don't want it to just be useful until they decide to patch the game. But you can kill a bunch of these guys out there for extra roots if you want. And as I've said before, I've killed entire camps after the Night 2 boss just by tanking the storm. And the way it is now, if you die out here, it's just like taking any normal death during a normal day. Your runes are going to be out here. You can just pick up your runes, rinse and repeat. So I'm just doing this as a demonstration. So I can go grab my runes. And if I wanted to, I could just keep killing these guys until however long I want. Pretty nifty. All right, so let's go in the bubble. All right, guys, so something very sad happened in that run. I died to the boss. So this is actually a different attempt at the boss. I try to keep everything as closely the same as possible. So you see I have the same number of heals. I am level 14. I have the same number of Winding Graces going into this fight. Of course, my passives are going to be slightly different. So I'll go on and show you what I have there for passives. I got some poison boluses, so my poison resistance is up a bit. You see I have some stamina recovery buffs. I also have the projectile damage drop off reduced. So there's still some good stuff in there. I have my legendary fire bow, so I'm about as identical as I can possibly be to the previous run when I'm going to fight the boss. Hopefully we get the win this time. I will say this boss gives me more trouble than any other boss in the game, and I don't know why. This boss is split into two, weak to fire, as I've said before. The one side of the boss is a moth, the other side is a scorpion. In phase 2, they kind of combine, so to speak. And the moth is, if you shoot it with fire enough, it will catch fire and it'll incur a slow HP drain, which is very similar to kind of a poison effect on most other enemies. The scorpion will try to attack you with ground-based attacks, earth-based attacks. You can jump over them if you catch them. The moth will put poison dust over you, especially if you're trying to attack the scorpion. You want to run perpendicular to the moth if you see that. If you get poisoned, it's a different type of poison. You'll see that there's a worm that comes up out of your head. There's no way to get rid of the worm in single player, but if you're playing multiplayer and one of your allies hits you, it can get rid of the worm. But since you don't have any allies in single player, you just got to let the poison kill you, basically. So it effectively forces a resurrect unless you keep healing through it. The moth will shoot magic lasers at you from afar. So since you have to really manage both at the same time, this makes it a really difficult single player fight. But we're going to give it our best shot, and hopefully it does not best me once again. I'm going to start by popping one of my exalted fleshes here. And I'll start by shooting the moth. The scorpion's going to pop up. You got to keep an eye on him because he's going to attack you pretty much right away. So I'm going to go on and mark him or miss the mark. But nonetheless, I'm going to ult him as well. And you see the moth is doing the poison dust. Run perpendicular. You don't want that poison meter to get all the way up. It is bad news if it does. He's only going to the scorpion has some lunge attacks that can be an issue. He also will stomp on the ground, which causes the spikes to pop up. And I'm going to run away because I see that poison dust coming out. That roar attack will hurt you if you're close. So he's going to burrow. Sometimes the scorpion burrows. Leaves you one-on-one with the moth. But beware because the scorpion will pop back up. So you want to make sure that you're far away. These lasers are going to rain from the sky. There he comes. And I missed the dodge. I should have done my mark, because that would have given me iframes, but alas, can't win them all. That's going to be the ground attack. And I'm going to get poisoned here, and I'll likely... Ooh, I missed that grab. That was good. And Scorpion not having it, hitting the moth. So it is really hard to keep track of both of them at the same time. That is the really difficult part about this fight, unfortunately. It is extremely difficult to watch them both, and the Scorpion, as you see, does massive there's my second res gone already, and I haven't even got to the second phase yet. That's really bad. That is really, 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 really bad, actually. All right, so Scorpion's going away again. Means I got just the moth here. Don't want to get poisoned. Definitely don't want to get poisoned. Scorpion's going to pop up, and I'm actually going to use my mark to get rid of it, to dodge it, which was a good idea because I don't want to get hit by that. So the Scorpion just hardened himself, which means he's pretty much invulnerable at this point, which allows me a good opportunity to do some damage to the moth. And the Scorpion was being a good guy, and he blocked some of that damage for me. This is going to be bad. I got to get out of the way of this dust. So second phase, unfortunately, I only have one res left, which is bad because he can pretty much one-shot you in this phase. Once he's going to roar right here, and then he's just going to charge at you while the moth is just completely spamming magic attacks. You want to run perpendicular, and these beams come down from the sky, which is really bad. Run perpendicular. Don't get charged over because if you do, it is an insane amount of damage, and look at that. Got hit big time there. Heal up. I gotta mark him and then ult him right here. Take advantage of those iframes big time. And he's gonna do his ground attack there and try to poison me. And these lasers from the sky can be really problematic. Dodge and dodge again. Those are two good dodges. I was really fortunate with those dodges there. And looks like we got some more poison coming our way. Is he about to roar again? I don't know. Fortunately, those all missed me, but that did not miss me, sadly. Yeah, you can see how dangerous this guy is. He just hits so hard, and there's so much to keep track of during this fight. Don't hit me here, please. Oof. I'm gonna pop this Exalted Flesh here. Ooh, nice. Got a stagger, I think. He does not have a critical hit weak point, which is very sad. But it's just the way it is. You get a lot of free hits, though. And, well, there's my last res. Hopefully we can close the deal here. Got a heal left. That's a good mark. And got him. Very nice. I was worried after using both of those reses in the first phase, but we got the job done. Sentient Pest trophy acquired. Awesome. So yeah, that is a really sketchy fight. I like using Iron Eye because you have the range that you can use against the Moth. The Moth is very hard to melee, but especially in that first phase, you can get that fire debuff on him pretty easily. But man, it's just a hard fight. They throw everything at you with that one. So, successful second attempt at the boss. I'll take it. See, let's check our runes, see if we get any good character-specific buffs. Revenant, strengthens family and allies when ultimate art is enacted. And so this is the guaranteed boss-specific rune for beating the boss. Starting armament inflicts poison. We're going to be using that on our next run against Gaping Jaw. Sure. And poison and rot in vicinity increases attack power, so it kind of stacks. You get that poison to start, and then once you trigger the poison, your attack power increases. Very good combination there. And I'm going to go on and buy the goblet for my Iron Eye.
Installed a dressing room next to the study. If you have other garments you would prefer to don, it is yours to use as you will.
All right, so after killing 2 Night Lords, you can actually change your outfits. It does cost Merc. And we still have the crater active, which is good. And if you don't want the Shifting Earth, I wouldn't recommend this, but you can actually go to your bed. And whoops, that's where the wardrobe is. So if you don't want the Shifting Earth, where is the bedroom? Is it in here? No, this is not it. I've lost my round table hold navigation skills here. Anyways, there is a bedroom. You can sleep in the bed and it gets rid of the Shifting Earth. I guess it has to be over here, right? Is it next to the closet? No, it's not. We're going to visit the wardrobe in just a sec. Here's your bed. Yeah, go all the way down here on the map. This is where it is. And if you rest, it will get rid of the Shifting Earth, which will basically make it so it will not pop back up unless it's just RNG based at that point. So you go in here, because we beat 2 Night Lords, we have the opportunity to change our outfit. They do cost Merc, and you see that it is a significant amount of Merc. So each character now has access to their Dawn and Dusk, or Dawn and Darkness version of their outfit. So if you want to spend the Merc, there is actually a trophy for changing outfits, so we'll be doing that later, but not now. We don't have the Merc for it. So I'm going to go and buy Iron Eye's goblet now that I've got a bit more Merc in my stash. And that will conclude today's episode. Do Iron Eye's goblet. Very nice. And we're good. All right, thank you for tuning in. Hope you learned something from this episode or got any value from it. Appreciate y'all. And we'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.